A very good morning to my dear students. Today we are moving on to the third unit, which is entitled as the importance of science. So in this unit is mainly focusing on the importance of science. We all know that there are so many advantages due to the inventions that took place in the field of science and technology. See, for example, if you take the case of this online class itself, we all are now able to participate in the online class through our mobile phones. So these mobile phones are ultimately a result of an invention, or it is ultimately the result of the progress in the field of science and technology. So in that way we can find that in every realms we are directly or indirectly owing much to science and technology. So that advantage of science is focusing here in this unit, the importance of science. And the first chapter is entitled as For a While Misunderstood Him. So this chapter is actually an extract appeared in a very famous newspaper, The Times of India, and the writer of this journal is actually Jayant Narlikar. So this is actually a memoir. What do you mean by a memoir? It is actually a memoir about whom? Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, you all know that Stephen Hawking is an important or a famous physicist in the world. Okay, he has contributed much in the field of science, and there is a book called as A Brief History of Time. Is written by Stephen Hawking. Okay, so Stephen Hawking is primarily known as the author of A Brief History of Time. So this book is written by Stephen Hawking with a view to make science understandable to common people. So for that he has explained all those difficult theories of science in his book. And memoir is actually a memory. So Jayant Narlikar is memorizing or is recalling his experiences with Stephen Hawking. Okay, now take page number 49, and there you can find two columns, column A and column B. And in column A you can find the names of 6 scientists, and in column B you can find some of the major contributions and achievements of these 6 scientists. So what you have to do is you have to connect these scientists' contributions and achievements from column B. In that way you can complete matching column A with column B. Okay, that is an exercise you have to do. So now we can move on to the first chapter under third unit, the importance of science. Okay, For a While Misunderstood Him. Here is a touching tribute to Stephen Hawking, a pathfinder in science and an outstanding cosmologist, by India's best known astrophysicist. So this is actually a memory of whom? This is actually a memory of Jayant Narlikar, who is India's best astrophysicist, and he is recalling about who? He is recalling about Stephen Hawking, who is regarded as a famous cosmologist. And what do you mean by cosmologist? Here Stephen Hawking is a famous cosmologist and J.N. Narlikar is a famous astrophysicist. And what do you mean by cosmologist? Cosmologist means one who studies cosmology. And what do you mean by cosmology? Cosmology is the study of physical universe. Physical universe means relating with this galaxy and all those things. And what do you mean by astrophysicist? One who studies astrophysics. And what do you mean by astrophysics? Physics that deals with physical properties of celestial bodies. And what do you mean by celestial bodies? Relating to sky or relating to sun, moon, planets or something like that. Okay. So, in that way we can undoubtedly say that this chapter is a memoir of whom? Of J.N. Narlikar. About whom? About Stephen Hawking, who is regarded as a famous cosmologist. Now, look at the chapter. This is a story from the year 1963. A colleague from King's College, Cambridge, casually mentioned, "Do you know Stephen Hawking? Doctors recently told him that he has just about 2 years to live." I was shocked to hear this. Just about 2 years earlier, I had met him when both of us were working at the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, during summer vacations. So, the first paragraph clearly gave us an idea that Stephen Hawking has been found ill. And where he got this information? He got this information from one of his friend, one of his colleague. So, J.N. Narlikar got an unpleasant news from one of his colleague that Stephen Hawking has been ill, and the doctors diagnosed that within 2 or more years he will die. So, when J.N. Narlikar came across such a news, he was terribly shocked because he had a direct relationship with Stephen Hawking and suddenly he recalled his days with whom? His days with Stephen Hawking. That is what it is said that just about 2 years earlier I had met him when both of us were working at the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, during summer vacations. So, during the summer vacations at Royal Observatory, Greenwich, the writer and Stephen Hawking were working there. So, when the narrator or the writer came to know about the unpleasant news about Stephen Hawking, he suddenly recalled those days. Summers in England used to be enjoyable, a time to relax and have fun. As students, we would be given very little work. At Greenwich, we were put up at an ancient fort that had a lot of greenery and facilities for tennis, table tennis and billiards, games in which Stephen also took part like any other student. So, now this writer J.N. Narlikar was simply recalling their summer days, and it has been said that during summer days the students would not get too much homeworks. That means they were entirely free. And now writer recalled the times he had spent with whom? Spent with Stephen Hawking. And it is said that Stephen also took part like any other student. So, Stephen was also an all-rounder. He showed interest in playing different kinds of all these games. And what do you mean by billiards? Billiards, you have to write in your notebook. Billiards means games played on table top. That means games like chess or something like chess, caroms, all these games are tabletop.
Play on.
Nobody ever thought at that time Stephen had any physical disability. His speech was a little unclear, but since the English elite would speak in similar fashion, I did not find anything amiss. And we, the friends of Stephen, would never think that he had such a disease, simply because of what? He was an active participant even in academic field and non-academic field. So, he was an all-rounder. So, at that time, we, the friends of Stephen, would not identify such a disability in whom? Disability in Stephen. But from that time onwards, there was a little hindrance in his speech. There was a little, some slight speech impediment. What do you mean by speech impediment? A small hindrance in speech or a small distraction in speech. His speech was a little unclear, but since the English elite would speak in a similar fashion, I did not find anything amiss. But see, for example, even though he had a slight speech impediment, it was actually the way every English people would speak. So, it was almost like that. So, he was not at all able to identify something wrong with whom? Something wrong with Stephen Hawking's speech. I did not find anything amiss. Amiss means wrong. I would think he acquired his accent at a big public school. There used to be misunderstanding among people that those who spoke with an accent considered themselves special. Instead, they thought that he took his education from a very high standard public school. That is what his pronunciation is like this. Actually, what happened? It was because of his speech disability. That particular accent occurred. But they thought that it was simply because he graduated or he took his education from a high public English school. That might be the reason he has such kind of a good accent. So, in that way they misunderstood him. So, that might be the meaning of this chapter. For a while I misunderstood him. Who misunderstood? People like J.N. Narlikar. There used to be a misunderstanding among people that those who spoke with an accent considered themselves special. So, see, for example, we too are also like that. If somebody from our side speak English in a good accent, we brand them as he is a fellow from a high standard English school, something like that. So, this is a casual tendency. I had a similar misunderstanding about Stephen. So, J.N. Narlikar also had a similar misunderstanding about who? About Stephen Hawking. When Stephen Hawking, when he found some kind of impediments in Stephen's voice. Not just me, even some of my English friends had the same perception. So, everyone perceived like that. Everyone perceived that Stephen, it might be because of Stephen had an education from a high public school. We told ourselves that this is how these Oxford students were, and they even made a comment in their friend circle that this is like every Oxford students were, because Oxford is a very famous university, and Stephen had his education from Oxford University, and they all opinioned that maybe because of the quality of his education he had from Oxford. That might be the reason for this accent. But what was actually the real thing? The real thing was Stephen developed some kind of illness. With regard to his illness, that was actually the reason for this different accent. When Stephen received his degree from Oxford in 1962 and came to Cambridge to pursue a doctorate, we would meet every day. So, when Stephen came to Cambridge in order to take his doctorate after his graduation in Oxford, Jayant Narlikar used to meet Stephen Hawking every day. His style of speaking remained unchanged. At that time also, there was a slight speech impediment in his speech. Yeah, that means still then the illness was there. When he spoke, some words would slip away. Yeah, if he uttered something, if he spoke something, many parts were not clear. None of us knew that this was probably the first symptom of the disability that was slowly engulfing him. And we never identified that it is actually the initial symptoms of a particular disease he was slowly developing. That is why when I heard the news from my colleague, I was deeply shocked. So, that is why the reason Jayant Narlikar was very much shocked when he came to know that Stephen has been found ill. Later, I got to know that he had amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a neuromuscular wasting disease also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. So, now finally they came to know that Stephen was suffering from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It is actually a neuromuscular wasting disease. That means as a result of this illness, the nervous system weakens. As a result, Stephen would not be able to utter a sound, would not be able to move his tongue. And this disease is also known as Lou Gehrig disease. What do you mean by Lou Gehrig's disease? Lou Gehrig is actually an American baseball player, and he also developed the same disease. That is what, and thereafter the disease was branded in his name. Okay. Over the time, the disease reduced his bodily control to the flexing of a finger and voluntary eye movements. And when Stephen was identified with this rare amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, he was totally unable to move his finger and even unable to move his eyes voluntarily. So, in that way, almost one side of him was paralyzed. Rapid changes in his physical condition were visible after he joined Cambridge. He would at times stumble while walking, and sometimes he slipped away while he was walking. Yeah, it is because of the weakness in his muscle system. Yeah, his body was not able to support his movements. Yeah, you have to remember one thing, that amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is actually a disease which affects our backbone. And if we have been identified or detected with this disease, normally what happens? It affected our backbone, the entire system. So, we would not be able to stand like this. So, we would not be able to walk like this. So, that is what it is said, that while he was walking through the corridors of Cambridge, at times stumbled while walking, slipped away while walking. But Stephen completed the PhD thesis and started further research. He did not require much help from his guide. Even though he faced this much difficulties, he went on with his studies, he went on with his PhD thesis, and he completed his doctorate course. And he did not actually require much help from his guide. He did not even need much assistance from his guide. Why? Because he was that much an intelligent man. During 1966-67, Stephen solved a difficult question regarding Einstein's theory of relativity. So, this is actually the caliber of whom? This is actually the caliber of Stephen Hawking. And Stephen Hawking is regarded as the best scientist next to whom? Best scientist next to Einstein. So, if we take the names of some scientists, Stephen's place would be at the top. So, Stephen is regarded as a famous scientist next to whom? Next to Einstein. And now look, during 1966-67, Stephen solved a difficult question regarding Einstein's theory of relativity. And Stephen was able to clarify the doubts which are remaining even in a theory propounded by whom? Einstein. So, such was his brilliance, such was his caliber. This was a time when his illness snatched away his ability to use his hands for writing. The thing I mentioned right now. So, as a result of this illness, what happened? The illness snatched away. Snatched away means removed away the quality to use his hands for writing. Because now he was suffering from, at that time he was suffering from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and it will definitely affect his entire muscle system, and from that point onwards he would not be able to write something. So, he started doing calculations in his mind instead. So, he could not even use his hands. So, why he overcame the situation? He did all those calculations in his own brain. His colleagues would listen to his unclear speech. We have seen that there was a slight speech impediment. Impediment means a speech like stammering or something like that. Not exactly stammering. There is a hindrance in his saying. Okay. His colleagues would listen to his unclear speech and note down the equation Stephen dictated. So, even though his utterances were not clear, that is a point. That is a point you have to note here. Even though Stephen's utterances, even though Stephen's lecture was not clear, there were so many scientists from all over the world to listen to whom? To listen to Stephen, even though his words are not clear. What does it show? It shows the caliber, it shows the intelligence of whom? It shows the intelligence of Stephen as a physicist. It was not surprising that every equation was perfect. So, there was the speech impediment. That means there was a speech hindrance. So, whenever he uttered, so the things he uttered was not clear. But even though it was not clear, there were so many people in order to listen to him. So, such was his lecture. Very, very finest, very notable lectures we can find in the world itself. Okay. Though his body failed him, Stephen used his brain and successfully continued his research. So, even though the body would not allow him to continue with his research, he completed it using his brain. Between 1969 and 1973, Stephen presented an important theory on black holes. What do you mean by black hole? Black hole is actually a term in science. The meaning is given there. Look at the meaning. An area in space that nothing, not even light, can escape from. So, black hole is actually an area in space which has high gravity. So, for example, if something moves across the area to the gravitational force, that thing is suddenly caught up by the strong gravitational power. So, that is actually what we mean by black holes. And Stephen presented an important theory on black holes. So, from till then, people do not have that much idea about what black hole is. And it was actually Stephen who presented a paper on what? On black holes. So, such was his caliber. In 1974, he discovered that black holes could emit radiation, which was a surprising find. So, in 1974, he came out with another invention. What was the invention? Yeah, in 1974, he invented that these black holes could emit radiation. And these black holes, we already knew that black holes are the area in which there is a high gravitational force. And apart from that invention, Stephen invented one more thing, that these black holes could emit radiation. Okay, radiation, the meaning is given there, heat, energy, etc., that is sent out in the form of rays. So, these black holes could even emit radiation. This was then called the Hawking effect. So, this invention came to know slowly in the name of whom? Stephen Hawking. So, we have Newton's first law, Newton's second law, Newton's third law. So, why? Because it propounded by whom? It was propounded by Newton. Likewise, this invention, what is the invention mentioned here? Yeah, the black holes could emit radiation, and this was actually propounded by whom? Propounded by Stephen Hawking. That is why it soon came to know in the name of Stephen Hawking. So, it is simply branded as Hawking's effect. Stephen's success was powered as much by his determination as his first wife, who gave him immense support. And Stephen got a huge support from his first wife. Okay. So, his first wife was there to encourage him, to motivate him even in all his tough times. In 1964-65, Stephen became friends with Jane Wilde, and later they got married. So, this was actually in 1964 when he was going on with his research studies. He met whom? He met Jane Wilde, and they became friends with each other, and that friendship ultimately resulted in what? Resulted in their marriage. Wasn't her decision to accept Stephen's disability and marry him an equally courageous one? So, that decision has also brought him so much courage. So, a woman having been shown the broad-mindedness to marry a physically ill man, that was actually which gave him some courage. They have two healthy children, a daughter and a son. Okay. When he lost his speech, Stephen started using a voice processor. So, we have already seen that due to the specific disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, he was not at all able to utter a sound. So, in that condition, it was very difficult for him to continue the publishing work of the book he has written. What is that? A Brief History of Time. Stephen started using a voice processor. So, we have seen that it was very difficult for him to utter a sound. So, in order to communicate to the people around him, he at that time onwards he started using a voice processor. During this time, he wrote A Brief History of Time. So, A Brief History of Time, actually I mentioned in the beginning of this class that he wrote a book in order to make science understandable to non-scientists. Non-scientists means the casual people, the lay people. He proved wrong the doctors who had said that he had only 2 years to live. So, after the diagnosis, the doctor said that within 2 years he would die, but he would not die even after those 2 years. So, in that way he made the comment of doctors as wrong. Undeterred by his disability, Stephen made path-breaking contributions in fundamental science. So, undeterred, what do you mean by undeterred? Undeterred by means if somebody is undeterred by something, they do not allow it to stop them from doing something. So, even though, that means even though undeterred by his disability, so even though he was identified with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and even the doctors said that he could not contribute anything because he would die within 2 years, just opposite to their predictions, he contributed much to the field of science. He showed how his disability never came in the way and continued to contribute to science until his brain was functional. So, in that way he contributed much to the field of science until the last minute his brain was functioning. So, this is a successful story of whom? This is a successful story of Stephen Hawking. So, look at the lifespan of Stephen Hawking. Imagine if you were in the case of Stephen Hawking, would you be able to conquer this much achievements? No. What might happen in our case? Yeah, soon we would be disappointed by the illness. But look at the case of Stephen. So, even though Stephen was identified with such a terrible disease, yeah, he would not stop. Instead, he started working hard. So, that is actually the speciality of his character. So, now take page number 52, look at the question answers. You will have 2 sets of questions, and in each section there are so many sub questions. So, you have to go through those questions and try to find out the answers. Anyway, I will send the answers to you through the WhatsApp group. And now we will have a group work given here. Turn over the page 53. So, debate. I will give an example. Okay, so look at this question. This is actually a question: are women empowered in our society? Empowered means women are independent or not. This is actually a question of debate here. When such a question is given in front of us, some people are of the opinion that women are not independent in our society. If such a question is given to you, some people are of the opinion that they are independent. So, it is actually a discussion in between these two statements: women are empowered, women are not empowered. So, this is known as debate. So, in that way a debate should have two sides. What are they? For and against. So, some people are favoring the topic and some people are not favoring the topic. So, if such a question, when such a question is asked in your examination, you can find such kind of a statement, and if you really are in favor of this topic, you can say that yes, I do agree with this statement that women are empowered in our society, and then you have to give supporting points why you are saying that women are empowered in our society. So, all those points should be given in this area. And suppose if you are not supporting this, you can argue against. So, then you can select this one, against. So, again, first of all you have to say that no, I do not think that they are empowered. Then why you are thinking that they are not empowered? So, you have to give your own supporting points here, okay, here in this portion. So, in that way you can write a debate. Okay. So, the topic given here is exploring space is a waste of money. What do you mean by exploring space? See, for example, in every year our nation is spending too much money for what? Too much money for the development in science and technology. For example, if imagine that the nation is planning to launch a rocket. So, how much rupees the nation has to spend for that? Around 500 crore or something like that. Then there is a question, is it needed or not? What do you think? Is it needed or not? Because when, especially in the case of India, there are many people who are in poverty and unemployment. So, living in such a nation, is it good to spend too much for the launching of a rocket? So, then there occurs a question, is it needed or not? So, that is actually the statement here. Exploring space is waste of money or not? What do you think? Is it good or is it bad? Is it needed or not? What do you think? Yeah. If you are favoring this topic, you can write that exploring space is a waste of money. Then you have to give your viewpoints, your opinions in 4 or 5 points. Some points are given there. And if you are not favoring this topic, that means exploring space is not a waste of money. If you are of the opinion that, you can argue that you don't think that exploring space is a waste of money. It is not a waste of money. So, then you have to write your own points in order to support your statement. Okay. This is the way you have to conduct a debate, and you have to write points which are favoring the topic and which are not favoring the topic. So, I hope that you understood everything we discussed today. I think this is enough for today. Anyway, we can wind up. Thank you. Have a nice day.